Hello everybody, welcome back to C&S Corvettes in beautiful sunny Sarasota, Florida. It's your Corvette buddy Lyle here to talk to you about more interesting, exciting, and hopefully helpful Corvette stuff. Today, we're going to talk about a big event that was a surprise to everybody this weekend at the 12 Hours of Sebring right here in Florida. Guys, just a quick reminder, we're only a few thousand subscribers away from hitting the 100,000 subscriber mark. If you like our videos, like them. If you have things to say, put them in the comments below. And if you want to help our channel grow, subscribing is the best way to do that. Thank you so much. So this weekend was the famous 12 Hours of Sebring, one of the top 3 endurance races in the world. And it is the kickoff event for the IMSA season here in the United States. One thing that nobody saw coming, though, was that on an empty track before the race, all of a sudden, 5 Grand Sports made their way around a parade lap on the track. And there was the 63 Grand Sport, there was the 96 Grand Sport, there was the C6 Grand Sport, and there was a C7 Grand Sport. But leading this group of 5 cars was, yes, the new C8 Grand Sport made its public debut driving around the track at Sebring. This was just a soft reveal, kind of a big surprise at a big event. It confirms the Grand Sport is definitely returning this year for the C8 lineup, and the full reveal date is in just a couple of days on March 26th, where we'll get all the information. The exterior design of the car features the wide body setup from the Z06 and the E-Ray. The exhaust is in the center like the Z06, not out on the sides like it is on the E-Ray and the Stingray. The wheels and brakes, the black wheels are inspired by the C7 and the C4 Grand Sport Cup wheels. Red brake calipers, unique Grand Sport badging, of course, Grand in black, Sport in metallic. The car shown at Sebring was in the traditional and famous Grand Sport livery, which is Admiral blue paint with a white stripe down the middle and red hash marks, this time on the rear quarters instead of the front fenders. I think mostly because the front fenders on a C8 are only about that thick and they wanted to make a more dramatic presentation with those, so they put them on a larger surface area. I am certain that the Grand Sport will be available in all factory colors, but the one that everybody's going to want, including me, is going to be the Admiral blue with the white stripe. So GM is approaching the Grand Sport as for the purists. It is built by and for enthusiasts. It is expected to be a higher volume model. It's of course not going to be limited. They'll build as many as anybody wants. And it follows the traditional Grand Sport formula that we saw in the C6 and the C7. It's a track-focused look, balanced performance between base and higher trims, and it's going to probably slot in price-wise between a well-spec'd Stingray and the E-Ray and the Z06. The powertrain for the Grand Sport is the next Gen 6 small block with 6.7 liter LS6 V8, around 535 horsepower, unofficial but widely reported at that number. And the other thing, and I find this very interesting and it makes sense, a possible second model, the Grand Sport X. Now, while this car is not officially confirmed by GM as of yet, it has been widely reported that GM is strongly considering replacing the E-Ray in the lineup, which has been an extremely slow seller because of poor marketing choices and just people not really understanding what that car is about, making the Grand Sport X the second level of the Grand Sport, which would have the all-wheel drive and the hybrid assisted performance found in the E-Ray. And that would put that car at around 721 combined horsepower, which would be a very, very serious automobile. And I imagine that would take the place of the E-Ray in the $98,000 to $110,000 price echelon. Big picture, GM is expanding the GM lineup even further. We already had the Stingray, the Z06, the ZR1, and the E-Ray. We're now adding the Grand Sport to that. And it returns as a driver-focused, high-volume middle ground between the base Stingray and the wild and raucous Z06. This is likely going to be a more raw and more purist-focused driving experience versus the E-Ray, but still less extreme than the Z06. So I'm excited to see if the X becomes something that they unveil. I imagine they do it relatively soon, kind of like they did with the ZR1, and then shortly after the reveal of the ZR1, they revealed the ZR1X. It makes sense because the E-Ray as a whole has not been a good mover, even though it is an outstanding car. Well, those are my thoughts on it. This is what we know so far. What do you guys think? What are you guys hearing? Put it in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. And I know that if you're anything like me, you're excited about this car. Hope to see you soon. Bye.